Hello everyone. In this lecture, we will learn different wait mechanisms present in Selenium WebDriver. First of all, we will understand why we need waits in Selenium. If you will see, most of the web applications are developed using Ajax and JavaScript. So when a page is loaded by the browser, the elements which we want to interact with may load at different time intervals. So in this condition, it is very difficult to identify the element. It will throw an element not visible exception. This is called as synchronization issue. There are few common types of synchronization issues. First one is called as element not visible. The script tries to interact with an element that is not visible on the page yet. That is called as your element not visible. Then element not clickable. The script tries to click on an element that is not yet clickable. Element not interactable. The script attempts to interact with an element before it becomes interactable. Page loading. The page might still be loading when the script tries to perform an action causing an error. Asynchronous operations. Web applications often use asynchronous operations such as Ajax request or JavaScript timers to update content dynamically. The script needs to wait for these operations to complete before proceeding. So to handle these synchronization issues, we can use Selenium wait. So now you understood. To resolve all these synchronization issues like element not visible, element not clickable, element not interactable, page loading issue, asynchronous operations, to resolve all these issues, we can use Selenium waits. There are three types of wait. One is implicit wait, then explicit wait, then fluent wait. In this lecture, we will discuss about implicit wait. So what is implicit wait? Implicit wait sets a default waiting time for all elements. When Selenium cannot find an element immediately, it will wait for the specified time before throwing a no such element exception. So how we will use it? We will write in this way, right? Driver equal to webdriver.chrome. Then we can use driver.implicitly wait 5. So 5 is nothing but here we are waiting for 5 seconds. So once we declare our driver object, that is driver equal to webdriver.chrome, we will say driver.implicitly wait and then how much time we want to wait in seconds. So here you can see driver.implicitly wait 5 means 5 seconds we are waiting. So implicit wait is applied globally. So here 5 seconds is global timeout for our script. So how this implicit wait will help us here? Now if any element is not shown on the page, it will wait a max of 5 seconds for that to show up. So 5 seconds is the maximum timeout. Let's say if that element is just displayed in 2 seconds, then immediately it identifies and proceeds. So it will save 3 seconds time for us. So important thing to understand here, every time implicit wait will not blindly wait for 5 seconds. 5 seconds I am telling because we have given the example here as 5. Okay, so whatever time you have given, you can consider that. If it could not find the object, this is the maximum time, how much time it will wait. If our objects are displayed in, let's say, 2 seconds or 1 second, it will immediately proceed further in our test without being waiting for 5 seconds. But in case of time.sleep, if we put 5 seconds, it will wait for 5 seconds. So if you have remember, I am talking about this one, time.sleep, right? So here we are telling 3 seconds. It means it will wait for 3 seconds. So no matter if our object is displayed in 1 second or 2 seconds, still this time.sleep will wait for 3 seconds. So time.sleep is not efficient and unnecessary waits for lot of time. One more thing, implicit wait is declared globally, so it applies to each and every line in our code. So whenever if object is not identified, it will wait until that particular time. So now let's see with an example. Okay, let's go to our PyCharm. Let me create a new Python file. We'll name it as implicit wait. Okay, So let me copy the code from our previous file. So I'll remove everything. We'll keep these lines. We are just launching our Chrome browser and then we are navigating to this particular URL and then we are maximizing our window. Okay, so here we'll use a different URL. So let me copy that particular URL. So we'll use this sourcedemo.com. So let me copy this and let me put it here. So what we'll try to do here, so if we'll see, we can log into this particular lab. So here you can see the usernames and passwords. So let me just take this username and you can use this password, okay, and then click login. So here you see, when you click here, so this particular thing, when you click here, you see a logout button, right? So it takes little bit more time. Once you click, till the time it displays, it takes little bit time. Okay, so we will use wait mechanism here. Okay, so you can just click logout, it will log out from this screen. Okay, so again we came to the home page, login page. So let me log in again and let me give this password, click on login. So from here we need to click the logout. So first let's do it without implicit wait and then we can see how to use implicit wait here. So first we will try to identify these web elements. Okay, let me right click, inspect. So here we see we have type data ID. So we can use ID here. So let me just copy this and here we'll write driver dot find element then by dot ID, okay, comma, and then here we can give that ID, okay, and then what we need to do, we need to do dot send keys. Okay, what will send key here, will send this particular username, right, standard user. Copy this and paste it here. So same thing we need to do also, driver dot find element, okay, by dot, we'll see what we can use for this password. Again inspect. So here also we have ID. So let me copy this and let me put it here, by dot ID, comma, password dot send keys. Okay, so what is the password here? This is your password. Let me paste it here and then what we need to do, we need to click on this login. So again inspect. So here again we see the ID is also here. So we'll just copy. So let me just copy this thing. So it will be first we'll use login button, right, by dot ID login button. So here it is not send key because here it is click dot click. Okay, so let me put it here, login. Okay, so we came here, then the next thing is what, we will click on this particular button, right? So inspect. So here what we see, okay, here also ID is there. Okay, copy this and okay, let me again copy these two things and I'll use this ID, by dot ID. Okay, here we'll just click here, we'll click here. Once we click, this thing is displayed. So right, oh, I need to find, it got log out. Okay, right click, inspect. So for logout, okay, ID is there. So here also you can use this. Okay, so we have all these things. Right now we'll try to execute and see, right? So we identified all these web elements and then we'll try to execute. So here we are sending the keys and here we are clicking it. All good, right? Let me right click, run this. If you would have noticed, the execution was very fast. Maybe the application was still loading. Okay, so our test got failed. So here you can see the error. Okay, so error is telling element not interactable exception message, element not interactable. Okay, and here if you will see, this is telling in line number 13. So line number 13 is nothing but this logout. So basically this logout button was not interactable. Okay, so that's what I was telling, right? So it was taking some time. So if you will come here, just close this, so click here, it is taking some time to show this, then we are clicking on this logout. So we need to wait some time here. Okay, so this is happening due to the synchronization issue. So how we will fix it? So we will try to use implicit wait here. We know implicit wait is applied in the driver level. So let's add implicit wait into the driver level. So here we have driver equal to webdriver dot chrome. So what we will write here? Driver dot implicitly wait. Okay, so here you can see, and here you can give any time. So let's say I will give here 5 seconds. So basically the default value is 0 here, but we are passing 5. That means it will wait maximum 5 seconds. Okay, so if our button is available in just 1 or 2 seconds, it will not wait for another 3 or 4 seconds, right? It will continue the execution, but maximum it will wait for 5 seconds because implicit wait is applied globally. Okay, and one more thing also, as implicit wait is applied globally, so it will be applicable on the all the elements here. Okay, so let's execute and see. Okay, let me right click and execute. See, the test got passed, we don't have any issue here. Okay, so the element or our button got visible before 5 seconds and it didn't wait for complete 5 seconds. That's why the execution was so fast and it got completed without any error. Okay, so that's how you can use implicit wait in Selenium WebDriver. That's all for this lecture. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.